Welcome back to Cryptos R Us, everybody. I'm George, or no, I'm Josh, but we're all George. But I am joined tonight by George, which is something new. It's been what, about a year, George?
Hold on.
What?
Wait, hold on. No, go ahead. I had echo going. Go ahead. Sorry.
I said it's been about a year since we've streamed together. I think it was the first Dirty Degen show that we did a show together, and it's been that long since. So excited to hop on, or to have you hop on with me on your channel.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here, Josh. What are we talking about tonight?
Well, we've got some great things to talk about. You know, I've seen despair and desperation all over the timeline, in the YouTube comments, in the live chat, all over Twitter. Everybody just thinks that the bear market's toast. But tonight, I've broken it down. There's many bullish narratives and catalysts going on in the crypto space, in the regulation space, all around the world. And I'm going to prove it to everybody why we are more bullish than ever. And the bull case is just getting started.
I like to hear it.
All right. Well, let's get started. You know, Bitcoin has been basically trading flat today. It's Friday, so a lot of people probably haven't been paying attention, but we're up a little bit compared to where we were at this morning. You know, today we had the SEC Crypto Task Force, which I personally sat through for like 2.5 hours. We'll talk more about that later, but it was not necessarily anything eventful. We had no reflections in the chart whatsoever while that was going on. So it was a huge nothing burger, but I think it's going to take a long time before that really starts to play a part. And, so this is the Crypto SEC Task Force that went on today. Really, ultimately, George, did you get to check it out at all or hear anything about it?
Actually, I didn't listen to it. So I didn't hear anything about it. So I don't know. I'm just assuming nothing big came out of it. So maybe I'm wrong. Did you hear something about it?
No, I mean, I watched it, but you lucked out by not watching it yourself. But really, all they talked about was how they need to regulate crypto. I mean, that's all it's about. So they're trying to decide if the current framework that the SEC follows is what they should be doing, aka is the Howie Test applicable to crypto? And about half of the panel is crypto haters. The other half are crypto believers. So, like you've got, I can't remember their names, but so half of them are saying that it should follow the Howie Test because that's what's been in place forever. And why would we want to change it? And then what they're trying to say ultimately is that all these projects will end up failing the Howie Test and they'll be charged and shut down. The other half, which I'm in agreement with, and I'm sure you will be as well, George, is that we need to come up with a new framework entirely, because the framework that we're currently using is nearly 100 years old. The Howie Test itself is 79 years old. This technology cannot be compared to the Howie Test. It's just not applicable. Some parts are, sure, investment contracts and things like that. But one big topic that they spoke about in general was DAOs. You know, a DAO is splitting up ownership of a company and decentralizing it. And that does not fit into the Howie Test whatsoever. A lot of people felt that the Crypto Task Force conference today was very bearish. I think it's actually pretty positive, because they're looking towards what this task force is tasked with is basically going through everything and trying to decide if that new framework needs to be built and put into place. And I'm pretty certain that's the decision they're going to come to, because I don't see how the current framework would work.
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, again, come on, crypto is so new, right? Crypto, in the grand scheme of things, since Bitcoin till now, but even if you look at everything that's been going on with, I don't know, tokenization and even like things like I don't know, NFTs, these are like very, very new things that have only come out within the last 5 years or something like that. So there's no way the Howie Test, which came out in the 30s, can be applicable to like these kind of new technologies, right? There has to be new framework. So, I'm really glad. Of course, and most people know that's been watching me. I'm really glad to see that the SEC has dismissed all these cases against crypto projects. I think things are changing. Unlike under Gary Gensler, basically everything was shut down. There will be no new innovation whatsoever. Everything falls into the Howie Test. Everything is a security. Let's just, just shut everything down, right? And even the companies that went to the SEC and wanted to work with the SEC were ignored. Like so many countless companies have said they tried to work with them, and even afterwards, they still get hit with a Wells notice. So it's like it was impossible before as an American company to work with SEC. And I'm really glad things are changing. And it's very obvious that we need a brand new framework to regulate crypto. That's the only way it'll be fair. And it's the only way to keep America ahead of the game, right? Because if you drive out all the innovators, it's not like innovation is going to stop. They'll just happen in other countries, right? We rather keep all the great talent and great projects here rather than push it overseas.
Yeah, really, when I look at the current framework that the SEC is following in crypto, really the current framework is like putting its foot on innovation's neck, just choking it out. So I think it's imperative that we do get that new framework. And this is one of my bullish cases for the current, market, because this is something that's very new, but also something that's extremely positive if we do get that new framework for crypto. When you mentioned all these cases being dropped, in 2025 alone, we've had Yuga Labs, Kraken, Consensus, or CoinSense. I always say that wrong. Justin Tron, Gemini, OpenSea, Binance, Coinbase, Robinhood, Uniswap, all dropped. And then just this week, also Ripple. So they're basically starting with a clean slate. Like Gensler screwed everything up. We're going to start over from scratch, which I think that's a good idea. But hopefully, it does seem like this SEC crypto task force is going to take quite a while before we actually see some results from it. A lot of them seemed like they might even be new to crypto. Luckily, there are some crypto native people in there. Like probably the most crypto native person would be the general counsel for A16Z. So hopefully their words are able to sway the rest enough to push that further.
Yeah, but at least it's balanced, right? I'm actually surprised by that. Like you said, half negative, half positive. So at least it's a balanced conversation. Because if it was just full of negative people, then it would go nowhere, right? So I'm glad to hear that that's the case. But I would have liked to see more of, let's say, some of the attendees of the White House conference or White House summit, right? Some of the big industry leaders. It would have been awesome if some of them attended. Then they could really represent crypto in a positive manner. It sounds like none of them attended. So, but maybe in the future, right?
Yeah, I was surprised about that as well. Originally, when they announced the SEC Crypto Task Force, it did have more representatives from the industry itself, but it seems like none of them were really there. I don't know if they were in the crowd. This thing was like 4 hours long. They talked for 2 hours, and then they took a 30-minute break, and then they had Q&A with the people that were physically there. I didn't watch that part, but I'm wondering if there are some industry people there that were taking part in that section. I couldn't spend 5 hours watching it all, though. But not only that, right after this actually ended, we had another dropped SEC case, which I think this is kind of a big deal because this has been a thing for quite a while. Tornado Cash not allowed, mixers not allowed, and that's actually been lifted as of this afternoon. So again, another big step in the right direction, because you can't blame the platform, right? Is ultimately what they're trying to rule.
Yeah, I mean, because this falls into the DeFi category, and now it's been ruled that the SEC is not going to go after any DeFi project. But what made this more ridiculous was the fact that they just threw the founders in jail, right? Yeah. Like this wasn't a civil thing. It wasn't they went after the guys and said, "Hey, you owe money" or something like the previous cases. They arrested them and threw them in jail. And they only came out within the last month or so. So this was like really bad, where they didn't ask questions. They threw them in jail, and now they're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, we overstepped. So sorry, we threw you in jail for how many months? And Tornado Cash is okay. So it's like they got the worst treatment out of anyone, because all the other companies, yeah, they were sued for years or whatever, but it was all monetary. You didn't see any of those guys really get thrown in jail, like Justin Sun and Tron. You didn't see them to try to throw him in jail, right? But these guys were just like immediately arrested and thrown in jail. But again, this is a good thing. It shows that they're changing, and things are becoming more fair.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit overlooked about how fair and bullish for the space as a whole this is. Them separating DeFi from crypto and trying to lock down on these platforms, you know, like whether it's Uniswap or Tornado Cash or whatever, and looking at them differently, it's quite a good thing. And, you know, you kind of made me think of something. Have you ever seen, do you watch South Park, George?
I did before.
So have you ever seen the episode where I forget who it is, but it's a CEO of a company, and it's just him over and over again. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry.
I don't remember.
Oh, it was from the BP oil spill. That's actually what it was. And on the South Park episode.
So
it's great, but that's what I feel like the SEC is doing now. They're dropping all these cases and they're just like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But obviously, there's a lot more bullish things just other than regulation, right? Because regulation is just half of it. And, you know, it's a lot about adoption too, and how crypto's being embraced around the world, but largely in the United States, of course. And currently we have the strategic Bitcoin reserve, or the strategic stockpile, digital asset stockpile, which is just basically the confiscated Bitcoin and crypto that the US has not sold and not managed to lose over the course of the last 6 years. And that's about like 200,000 Bitcoin. And actually, they're currently doing an audit on that. So they don't even think they have all of that. But, you know, as you know, we have Lummis, who's leading the way on.
That doesn't even make sense. Hold on. You know, like it's all on chain. Arkham even tracks it. You know, I don't even know how that makes sense. Why didn't they need to do an audit when it's clearly on the blockchain and is trackable in the wallets?
Well, I don't have the tweet right now, but it was a couple days ago, I believe.
No, I know. I'm not questioning you. I'm just saying in general, because I heard them say that, and it doesn't make any sense. It's like clearly visible in the wallets that they're tracking, so it's all there. I just, you know, it's not like auditing Fort Knox to see if the physical gold is there. I think that's where like they don't quite understand crypto yet, even though they're hearing about it, but they don't understand that it's all transparent and it's all trackable instantly. Yeah, I just found that funny.
No, it is really funny. I think ultimately what probably happened is somebody from the DOJ slid a little ledger into their pocket or something on their way out the door. And, you know, maybe they just don't know exactly where in their building or where the seed phrases are or something, because it's quite weird. Yeah, you should just be able to look at the blockchain and see what you have. I mean, like you said, Arkham's tracking it. Sooner or later, one of those wallets that Arkham's tracking for the US government is going to move like 5 Bitcoin and sell it on Coinbase or something. Then we're going to have some big conspiracy about how DOJ employees are.
Well, remember before Trump took office, some of it was being sold. So it hasn't been dormant for like, you know, years. Someone has the keys to it. So they just need to identify who has it.
So how bullish do you think it would be if they just don't have access to it? They can't find the seed phrase. They can't regain access to their main wallet or something like that. And they're just stuck with 200,000 Bitcoin that they can't even access. I mean, it's essentially burned.
No, that's fine. That's even better. That removes the human equation out of it. That's what Saylor said. Right. And it makes sense. Anyone that passes away, basically it's, you know, passes away and takes the Bitcoin with them, so to speak, right? So that, you know, the key is lost and no one can access it. It's a gift to the entire community. You're removing our supply and no one else is going to be able to touch it. So in that case, it's essentially like it's almost as it's burned. So it's actually probably better that way, because then future administrations or future, I don't know, you know, people that are in charge can't be tempted to sell it. So that would be even better.
Yeah, right. And what I think too could potentially happen if they figure out that they don't have access to it and they can't do anything with it or whatever, it might entice them to take Senator Loomis's plan more seriously because hey, they still don't really have anything then, right? At least in their eyes. So they've got to acquire then. They have to buy, they have to mine or something.
What I'm confused about is, it seems like Senator Loomis's plan is different than the White House plan. It's like they're two separate things going on. And that's the only thing that I think is causing confusion, because originally last year we were there, right? Both of us were there at Nashville when Trump came on stage, and then Lummis came on stage and, announced the Bitcoin reserve. And they talked about this plan that they're going to buy 1 million Bitcoin over 5 years, 200,000 per year. That was the original plan. Now, Trump came out and said, we're going to take the existing Bitcoin, put it in a reserve, and then we're going to find ways to buy more Bitcoin that doesn't cost the taxpayer money, right? That's the message. And then Lummis still pushes for this new act, which, is to buy more Bitcoin, which is the original plan. But this is contradicting what Trump's plan is. It's like two separate plans. So that's what's confusing. So this is in addition. This is not like part of the Bitcoin reserve now. This is just like another reserve that is trying to be passed. So that's where it's really confusing. And she's been doing interviews recently too, saying that she feels like the states would pass their reserve bills first before the country will, because obviously this takes congressional approval. And we know a lot of states, like 30 plus states, are trying to get theirs approved. And that's probably true. The states will probably get theirs first. But, that's the only thing. I just feel like this is I don't hear about Trump or Lutnick or Basson talk about this Bitcoin Act and supporting this directly. They're supporting Trump's plan, and this is kind of like separate. So I hope they like kind of merge together in the future somehow, right?
Yeah, I've seen some rumblings, but nothing like really concrete. Like, I believe it was Bo Hines that was talking about it, and like he's supportive of it, but he thinks that it should be adjusted a little bit so that like instead they use renewable energy to mine Bitcoin and hold that supply instead, which I don't think it would be terrible if the United States became a major miner. Some would argue that's called centralization, but when you have countries getting involved anyways, you're going to have centralization. So how do you really avoid it? Obviously we'd rather they just buy the Bitcoin in terms of price action, but I guess acquiring, accumulation's accumulation. Also, I just want to point out Cointelegraph did Senator Loomis really dirty with this picture. But yeah, you mentioned the states, and no, you're correct. There's 21 states currently that are going through it. And so that there's 19 pending, 2 considering, then we've had the 5 rejected. So like 27 total states.
I didn't even know there were 5 rejected. I thought it was just 1, but man, that increased.
Yeah, but there are there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that are considering like a like a real strategic Bitcoin reserve, not confiscated, not mining or anything like that. We're talking about buying, 10% of their revenue or something like that, right? So that could be a big deal. And I think there's several of these that are actually getting somewhat far through Congress. Like Arizona is definitely far. I know Texas is pretty far along. And there's some other ones too. I think Illinois probably will get denied because we suck. But it is definitely likely that these pass way before the official one. But regardless, they're not the only, the United States and the states within the United States are not the only governments or governing bodies that are looking at adopting Bitcoin. I mean, you got Bhutan, you got El Salvador, and then there's other ones that are considering starting to purchase as well. So this is like a snowball effect. The more it happens, the more others are going to get involved, and the more it's going to increase ultimately. I mean, do you kind of view it the same that way?
Yeah, of course. I mean, this is opening up the doors to so many other countries and, provinces and regions to come up with their own reserve, right? And I think it obviously it started happening with El Salvador, kicked it off, but like now that the US has a reserve, news is already coming out about China creating their own, because they also have close to 200,000 Bitcoin that they confiscated from some other hack or something, or some kind of Ponzi or whatever. So they have it too. So easily they can convert that to their reserve. And they're probably going to do that. And then Russia, they're already embracing Bitcoin because of all the sanctions and stuff. And other countries too, the Middle East, and then a lot more countries that are suffering hyperinflation, like Argentina, for example, even though they went through that messy meme coin thing. But, they were kind of embracing. Brazil's been talking about it, like country like Turkey and others that are really suffering hyperinflation. They all been looking at it, right? But I think this definitely opens the door. Now that America has the reserve, other countries are definitely going to take it seriously.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, aside from just like Russia and China considering, like you mentioned, the Middle East, you've got the UAE and Singapore that are considering using crypto-backed blockchain for their payment rails for the entire country. I mean, that's massive. I mean, it's obviously going to be a public blockchain or a private blockchain, and might even be something like Ripple, some sort of ledger system and whatnot. But it's full-fledged adoption and acceptance at that point, in my opinion.
Yep, I agree.
But go ahead.
No, I said I agree.
That's good. That's good. I figured you would. But another, obviously, we can't ignore though the big pain point of Bitcoin and crypto right now, at least in the world, would be the United States, right? For the past several years, it's been the bottleneck, right? It was Gary Gensler mostly that was pushing everything down, and the Biden administration and everything like that. Now, I'm not even trying to go pro-Trump here or pro-politics whatsoever, but it's very, very obvious that the entire administration now basically is pro-Bitcoin, pro-crypto in some way, shape, or form. Like the majority of them. And, you've got Brian Quintez. This guy was working with crypto companies, and Caroline Pham. The list just goes on and on. Paul Atkins, the new chair of the SEC, not a crypto skeptic or denier by any stretch of the imagination. This is going in. It's not to like beat the same horse that we've already been talking about, but it's the matter of these are the shot callers, and they're not just haters without any other consideration. Right? They're open to ideas, they're open to innovation, and they're already open to Bitcoin and crypto. I think this is very obviously one of the most bullish aspects surrounding the space right now, because it's going to just lead to further acceptance in general. And also, it's going to have the American people talking about Bitcoin and crypto a lot more because it's going to come up. So it's going to also just spread awareness in general, in my opinion, hopefully positive awareness.
Yeah, you're 100% right. Every appointee so far, they don't. The thing is, they don't even have to be pro crypto as long as they're not anti crypto. That's the thing. It's like you could take a look at like Fed Chair Powell. He's neutral. He's not anti or pro, but he's open to ideas. That's all we need. All these guys, all the new guys that have been appointed, it seems like they're more pro than anti. They're even more pro than neutral, right? But we just want a fair game. It's just the previous administration with every single person in charge, including the SEC chair. We're just so anti. They didn't even have an open mind. We thought Gary Gensler would be more pro because he taught classes at MIT, and then just like something completely flipped. He got like pulled in, or someone was pulling the strings or whatever, or the power got to him. But now it's just like it's a brand new world. Everyone has they have the cloud, right? The negative cloud has been removed, and everyone is receptive to this new direction for America and for crypto. And it doesn't mean that they just have to like blatantly accept everything. obviously we still have like a lot of like rug pulls and scams and stuff in crypto that we would love to stop. But you know, now that we have this like new framework that's being worked on, it's just a lot more fair, and it's go protect innovation and keep it here, and it's good for crypto overall. So that's what I think.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with this comment from Noah's Arcade. Nothing wrong with getting rid of government rot and corruption. Why the media hates this, I can't understand. You know, and I fully agree. I kind of feel like that's what's been happening over the course of the last 3 months, is getting rid of a lot of the corruption that we have seen in the last 5 years. You know, hopefully it continues that way, but we'll have to see. But in terms of, you know, acceptance, you brought up Russia starting to lean more positive, because they were extremely negative basically until they got heavily sanctioned, if I recall correctly. And then they got, you know, hey, we'll use Bitcoin for this or that. But, you know, now they're once again using it, but so that they can trade oil and gas. So they're utilizing Bitcoin and stable coins so that they can pay for, you know, utilities essentially. And not that this is like incredibly bullish, but it just shows that acceptance is coming around, and that more are, you know, open to transacting with it and utilizing it, not just saying, oh, it's a scam and putting their hand up, you know. So I don't know if it's necessarily bullish that they're using crypto for oil and gas, but I wouldn't say it's bearish either. I don't know how you feel about that. Is it bearish because they're avoiding sanctions?
It's not bearish. I think some would see it that way. But, you know, we're in crypto, and I think when any large country like Russia is using crypto in a big way, especially for intended uses, which proves that crypto can be a good medium of exchange and store value. And, you know, I think that's pro crypto, right? Some may argue, well, it's anti, you know, because it's going against sanctions, but I would say it's pro crypto at the very least. And yeah, I think it's good for crypto overall. Josh, I do have to say, I do have to drop off. So it's been fun. Maybe next week I can join for longer, but I have a dinner arrangement I have to go to, so I have to drop off.
No problem at all. Appreciate you hopping in. You know, I've been flying solo for a bit now, so I needed a new dirty degenerate to join me. So happy you joined me. I'm sure others are happy as well, and hopefully we'll get you back on soon.
All right. Have a good one. Take care, guys.
Thanks, George. Well, now that we got rid of George, we can actually talk about some serious stuff. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. There is more though, because really the point is that everybody is so bearish, saying that the bull run is over and that, you know, basically everything's going to go to zero because this is all terrible. And the point is that it's not. Things are becoming more bullish. They're just getting a bit more stagnant as these things play out. So it's going to take some time. That's ultimately what it is. And, you know, like George has mentioned recently on his streams, it could take 2 or 3 months before we start to get some more upward price action. I'm hopeful that doesn't take quite that long. I'm more looking at like the May, June timeframe, which is, you know, 2-3 months, but still the space overall is very bullish. You know, you going to zero, people, I don't listen to you at all. I don't really care. But to lean on to some more stuff, you know, the Bitcoin halving, we've been saying it for many cycles now, that there's an expected amount of time after you have a large run up after the halving. And you can see here that in 2012 at halving, price went up 139%, post 923%. Post 12 months, 7,000%. Then it kind of goes down. You can see 2016, you got 46, 37, 289. You guys can read, you get the point. But in 2024 here, sure, at halving, we got price up 119%. And then 6 months after, it was basically trading flat, not a whole lot going on there. But we're still only like 6-7 months after halving. So there's a lot that can happen in the next 6-7 months, right? And who knows, for all you know, we could very well be at the prediction that you're seeing from all these major institutions like Fidelity and Franklin Templeton or BlackRock. And we could be at that 200K point. are we going to see a 559% gain 12 months after halving? Absolutely not. Like, there's no chance at all. But we could see a solid 200% gain or something 6 months after halving. Now, this isn't like an end all be all, obviously. You know, this chart doesn't just make that happen. However, in historically, it has happened. So there is the potential that we do see that again. And not only that, aside from all the all the governments that are getting involved or all the states that might adopt a Bitcoin reserve, we also are up to 80 public companies that are adding Bitcoin to their balance sheet. I'm not going to go through and name them all, but there's also a ton of private companies that are accumulating Bitcoin. So there, all these institutions, the institutional demand is unlike anything we ever thought that we would see, at least this soon, right? It was a matter of time until they all got involved. But now you have them all flooding into the space because they see what I'm trying to tell you. They see that the space is becoming more bullish than ever and that adoption is happening at lightning speed around the world. It may not feel like it's lightning speed because to us it's the snail pace, but when you're talking about governments and politics, it's happening very fast. That always drags on very low. So, or very slow, not low, but there you go. And then, of course, we've also got the stable coins, the stablecoin law that Trump is trying to enact. That will also have, basically utilizing the stable coins to strengthen the US dollar and accepting stable coins as a form of payment and things like that. Just overall adoption with stable coins is also very positive. I just had a package come. I got to show you guys. You guys will love it. But aside from that, of course, we've also got more ETFs coming. Now we get into a little bit more degenerate stuff. This is what I love, right? And I did not think I would see this. I thought I would see many other things before I saw this, but a Pengu ETF. So this is not for the token. This is to track the NFTs because their NFTs are performing, last I checked anyways, better than apes. So that's pretty insane. But now we're getting Canary Capital coming out with the Pengu NFT application. Is it going to be in here? Oh, no. I don't know which one it's going to be. I got a custom Cryptos R Us hardware wallet. It's one of these boxes, and I'm not sure which. But there is more, of course. Also, I wanted to show this. This just came out about 2 or 3 hours ago, I believe. Fidelity, another major player in the financial space, is filing for a Solana ETF. So you have some of the biggest names in the financial sector that are advocating for and pushing crypto products and crypto ETFs. So is that not bullish? They're obviously paying attention. Now, some could argue, so I've seen some theories about what could potentially be going on right now, and it makes a lot of sense, right? And the one that made the most sense currently is that you have whales and major institutions that are putting large shorts on Bitcoin to suppress the price, and they're using that time to buy spot because this is an accumulation period for them. They didn't expect, or they had to wait for basically clarity, or not clarity, just on who's going to win the election, what route's crypto going to go, is it going to be accepted, or is it going to be pushed down further? So now that Trump got elected and their administration is becoming very pro-crypto, now you have all these major players coming out and saying, I want my piece, mostly because they want some more of this. But a lot of them have been very outspoken believers as well. So nothing wrong with that. Very positive. And also wanted to show this too. You've got the Bitcoin supply on exchanges. I know we talk about this all the time, but there's currently only 1.5 million Bitcoin left on exchanges. That's on all exchanges. Exchanges are running dry. Not only Bitcoin, actually, I saw today too, Ethereum. Now, I'm not a big Ethereum bull, but Ethereum is at the lowest balance on exchanges since 2015. So explain to me how all the Ethereum is being bought up and utilized in DeFi products, but the price isn't going back up. You remember what I was just talking about a couple minutes ago about how large shorts buy spot, suppress the price, and scoop up what you can. When you put everything together, it's very clear that is what's happening. So, stop listening to all the noise and people in the comments section or some people in the live chat about how terrible everything is. It's all going to zero. We're screwed. World War IV is around the corner and we're going to be nuked. So, it's a lot better than it seems. Things are not as bad as they may seem. And not only that, I got to meet some of you guys last year at the Bitcoin conference, or actually I've met a lot of you, not a lot, but quite a few of you over the years at the Bitcoin conference. This year, I'm expecting the Bitcoin conference to be bigger than it's been at any of them I've been to. And I've been there for the last 4 years straight, I believe. So now that we've got a bullish administration, it's going to be in Vegas. Obviously, Saylor's going to be there. Maybe we'll see Trump again. So I think this is going to be a good one. I'm hoping that you guys show up as well. And if you do decide to show up, you actually get a discount if you use Cryptos Are Us as a code, or you can use the link in the description. So if you're feeling bullish on Bitcoin, you want to check out the conference, there's a ton of good events. I suggest you check that out. But also, one of my favorite projects when we're talking about something a little bit degenerate, of course, is Big Red. And Big Red has recently resecured Beantown Babe. Man, these horse names are like the hardest to say. But they first acquired Beantown Babe for, I believe, $20,000, and then it got claimed, and now they have claimed it back. So they claimed her again for $30,000, and now she's going to be in a $60,000 race, and that's going to happen Tuesday, and she's actually favorite to win. Either favorite, or the odds are obviously forever evolving until the time of the race. So it's either favorite or second favorite, but that's a pretty big deal. So good chance here that Beantown Babe secures another win for Big Red. And actually, Big Red's in a phenomenal accumulation point. So I've been picking up a whole lot of Big Red here because can't beat these prices. But not only that, they're working with other projects who are acquiring horses. They're giving full updates on their horses and everything as well. But this race on Tuesday, I will be streaming, probably just to X. But so if you guys want to watch it, come check it out with us and the crew. It's always a fun time. Other than that, knock off from George. How rude. It's not that hard to come up with a crypto logo. I don't even know what you're talking about. But anyways, that's about all I have for tonight. I'm open to do some Q&A. We can talk about other projects, or if you've got cool projects that you want me to check out, I'm down for it. But that's about the scheduled show tonight. The real thing that I wanted to put out there is that we're not currently bullish enough on Bitcoin and crypto, because everything that's going on around the world is just strengthening crypto's case overall. So stop losing faith, stop throwing your hands in the air, and most of all, stop listening to the fudders around you that you see, because it's not going to get you anywhere. But yeah, if you guys have any chat questions, throw them in the chat. I'll go through them. Otherwise, if there's not, we'll go ahead and cut it early. Chuck to $1. Yeah, buddy. I love Chuck. Man, I was just listening to their spaces yesterday. I'm gonna have to do another show here with Ron soon. Love the guys over there at Chuck. So I work with George, or is this a different channel? This is still Cryptos Are Us. I've been working with George for over 5 years now. I'm actually the COO of Cryptos Are Us. So I handle many things for Cryptos Are Us. But aside from that, I also do some shows, do some research, because I'm a huge crypto fan myself. P. Drizzy says, why does everyone not like ETH? I think it's largely due to Vitalik and how the foundation handles things. And not only that, their last major update, they basically strengthened layer 2s instead of strengthening Ethereum. So it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And not only that, there's a lot of other chains that are just kind of better overall to use, like Sweet. Way cheaper, way faster, and very cheap. So great. Also, much more upside compared to ETH. So yeah. Do I think that ETH will be here in 10 years? Yes, I do. But I do not think that ETH will be the second largest crypto in 10 years. I think that we'll see a much different situation there. But I don't really like to use ETH. I use Base. That's where I bought Chuck at. I should go live more often. So I go live every week. It's been about a month since I went live because unfortunately we were traveling, and traveling there got me really sick at ETH Denver. I actually lost my voice for like 2.5, 3 weeks, and then things got worse again, but I'm back. So this is my first stream back, and I'm going to be back again tomorrow. However, tomorrow, if you go into the description of this video, there's a channel Alpha First, and that's where you can find me. So every single Saturday and Sunday now, I'm going to be doing a show there. I used to do Wednesday and Friday, but my Friday show is moved to Cryptos R Us channel, and I'm no longer doing the Wednesday show. So now I'm doing 2 shows over on Alpha First. So if you don't have anything to do tomorrow morning, come check me out. Be doing something quite different than Bitcoin, that's for sure. I think what we're going to do is play some Web3 games and dive into that, because I think that's fun. And then on Sunday, it will probably be more altcoins and gems and meme coins and things like that. Some of the stuff that I love. Do I have a channel on YouTube? Cryptos R Us. No, Cryptos R Us and Alpha First. So yeah, if you go into the link in the description, you can check out Alpha First, throw a subscribe. You'll get notified when I go live. I go live every Wednesday, or every Saturday and Sunday now. But that's not all I do. I do actually go live for major events. Like today, I was also live for the Crypto Task Force thing. I went live for Trump speaking at the summit. You know, so if there's big things like that that are publicly available, I will also stream those if they're very important to the crypto community, right? So like if there's the White House crypto team that Trump has, if they do another call that's public, I will stream that as well. So I kind of throw in things randomly too. But yeah, every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you can find me now. Is George okay? George was just here, man. He went to dinner. He was on stream with me for like the first 30 minutes, 27, 30 minutes. So yeah, he's here. Can't wait to check out my show. Appreciate it, man. Thoughts on the new Solana phone? You mean Seeker 2? It's pretty cool. You know, a lot of people made a lot of money off the first one. I need a burner phone just because like I'll be out and my phone will die. I need a second phone. So I think I might have actually ordered one. I need to check. Pretty sure I pre-ordered one during Black Friday for $350 instead of the $500 because they had the sale going on. So I need to check that because I'm pretty sure I did. So I'm looking forward to it. The first one went very well for a lot of people. I know they're doing the airdrops as well for the second one. So yeah, let's do it. I'm for it. Just subscribe. Appreciate it, man. We have fun over there. Let's see. Did I miss your question, Luck? I didn't see it. I'm happy to answer your question if I missed it. Apologize. Oh, here it is. I found it. Why does everyone seem to ignore runes like dog? Honestly, it's just because it's complicated. It's hard. I get it now that it's on brain fart. Magic Eden. So you can get all your ordinals and runes on Magic Eden, which is great, much easier. But when they initially came out and everything like that, it was very complicated to get them. It was hard to get your hands on them. And then by the time people figured out how to do it, they felt priced out already. So, you know, maybe we'll see a resurgence with runes, but I'm not entirely sure. I think Taproot Wizards will always be around. I think Dog will probably stick around, but Taproot Wizards aren't going anywhere. Not for a while anyways. Let's see. So yeah, I think that really it's just runes are niche. It's not going to get everybody into them. Just about how it is. I'm George. We're all George. Let's see. George comments about it, but doesn't watch the conference. I hope you have to understand, Lee, that the Crypto Task Force meeting was 4.5 hours long, and they really didn't say a whole lot of anything. So I don't blame them. But no, you're able to get all the facts after the point. I just kind of like to watch them live because I report on them. So yeah, you know, work with the Cryptos R Us team. We put out a lot of news, a lot of different things that we want everybody to see. So if I'm watching it live, it's much easier. I can always tell George what happened in time for him to talk about it or show him clips of the important parts. There's no reason to waste George's time with 4.5 hours of some live thing. Let's see. Randy asked if I've heard of Pinlink. I sure have. I almost invested in the ICO for it. David says, where's your co-host? George took off about a half hour or 15 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago. But other than that, for the past couple months, I have been flying solo. Josh and Joy robe stream. You know, I shipped him a robe and I was hoping it would get there in time for our stream today, but unfortunately it didn't. So he'll have it for next stream and hopefully he'll wear it. And then we can both be Dirty D-Gens together instead of just me. Let's see. R.A. Daniel asks, I got one for you. Thoughts on Seller, Say, or SWE, Well, and mobile tokens. Well, and mobile tokens. I'm not familiar with those. I mean, unless you're talking like Helium Mobile and things like that, I'm just not sure if that's what you're talking about. However, I'm very bullish on SWE. I love SWE. SWE is probably easily my favorite blockchain right now. Oh yeah, I'm familiar with Seller. You know, I haven't looked into them in quite a while though. I think they've got some changes and updates going on. They're still holding pretty strong though at 79 million. But let me see, pull this down. Yeah, I'm still just. Yeah, they have changed. So I've got to look into Seller again because they have changed. Very bullish on SWE, but I'll look up and see if. Where'd your chat go? Well and mobile. Oh, Moonwell. I've never heard of that one. I will have to look into that. Mobile, I feel like I actually have heard of. Oh no, so Helium Mobile. I like Helium Mobile. Actually, they're getting a lot of attention lately because of their free phone plan. So that's kind of a big deal. They've actually grown their addresses like 147% in the last month or something like that. So I think that Helium Mobile is actually going to have a little bit of a resurrection. It really died off in the last bull run. So hopefully we see some new advancements coming out. I'd really like to see them partner with Solana for these mobile phones so that, you know, hey, maybe when it ships, you get like a couple months free of Helium Mobile or something like that. I don't know. That'd be cool. Let's scroll up here and see what else I missed. Have I heard of Titan X? I sure have. I've got some friends that are big fans of it. Jeremy says, what you think about MAD tokens fall? Is it done falling? Are you talking about the MAD the meme coin, Jeremy? Because you're talking about MAD the meme coin. I know a lot about that. However, I'm not too sure about this message. Yeah, I'm not sure about that message. Let's see. Probably mad I didn't buy it at 45 cents. I don't know about that. I don't even know what you're talking about. Where's Scott? Somewhere on the internet. He's somewhere on the internet. Let's see. You think New Zealand thinks that Sol will be the king out of XRP, ETH, and Sol? I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Can you check out my latest meme coin all-time high real quick? Not sure if the price is accurate. Sure. Let's check it out. Why not? Why not? I love memes. So Dirty Degens in the beginning was only memes because I love memes. Definitely will be going back into them quite a lot more. So if you like memes, you should definitely go follow Alpha first. There we go. My lady's definitely not at an all-time high by any stretch of the imagination. But I mean, their all-time high, I'm pretty sure it was close to like $500 million. This is Pulse Chain, damn it. Why is this pulling up like this? I know what it is. Come on now. Do I think memes are dead? No, I do not think memes are dead. I think memes that are just in a little cool off period. They got quite hot for quite a while. So, you know, I actually said a while ago that I don't think my lady's coming back, and with how long I'm having to scroll to find it because this is crap. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, they're down to 28 mil. So I did pull up the right one originally, but I was like, that can't be the right one. But it was. $34 million. I feel like this is part of what made more people dislike Vitalik was when he started to use this profile picture. Come on, chart back. There we go. Let's just scroll out to the 3-day. Yeah, their all-time high was like 400 mil, just under 400 mil, 380. I don't really foresee my lady coming back. I think it's just kind of played out. Also, Ethereum memes really haven't been doing that hot lately, so not too big on that. Let's see what else I meant. I saw AT says this fool's not George. You're damn right, Josh, but we're all George. I'm the next best thing. You'll figure it out soon enough, though. Don't worry. Do I think WIF will have a comeback? WIF will always pump when memes pump, but I don't think we'll see WIF where it was before. It just got a little too overshadowed with all the sphere drama and everything like that. I don't think that it'll get back where it was. That's for sure. Any thoughts on stacks? I love stacks. However, they've been quite weak recently. Stacks used to be a great play for when Bitcoin would be a little bit volatile and have swings. However, stacks has decoupled from it, and we're not seeing that same price action. I do still like stacks in general, though, but they're kind of falling behind. I like Sol best. Why is everybody talking about XRP so hard? I mean, everybody talks about XRP because it's the talk of the town right now. However, Sol's not my favorite. I do like Sol, but Sol's not my favorite. Let's see. We are all George. We're all George. What's up, Alex? Thanks for tuning in. Scott no longer part of Dirty Degents. No, Scott left Dirty Degents to pursue other opportunities in the space. So it is just me. Crow? No, not bullish on Crow whatsoever. And you probably shouldn't be either. Crow, Crypto.com just passed a vote. And I say they passed a vote because they passed a vote. Crow is supposed to be basically a delegation token. You can vote on things and everything like that. However, they're basically bringing back $5 billion in burned tokens. And that's absolutely insane. And what are they doing with those tokens? They're not building anything with it. They're putting it straight into their pocket. So no, I wasn't bullish on Crow before, but now I'm incredibly bearish on Crow as that happened. Toshi dead? Nah, I think Toshi will have another run back. Toshi's still on Coinbase. When memes pick up again, Toshi's still a strong project. I mean, they're down quite a bit, but they had a good pump in I think December, or no, it was February when they got listed. And actually they're really not down all that much. They went up to like 400 or 500 mil, and they went up higher. I forgot about that wick. They almost hit $1 billion. But see, they haven't even fallen nearly as hard as other memes have. This is nowhere near as bad. Especially they're basically at where they were before they got listed on Coinbase. So nowhere near as bad as other memes, that's for sure. I love it. I like Toshi. Yeah, there you go. Silver Beast. It tells you how often they come to the channel if they don't know who I am. I mean, come on. I'm the host for Drivers Only. I've been on Cryptos R Us many times now. I'm all over the IFC streams, and I've been manning Alpha First for the past year. So if you're around Cryptos R Us at all, any stretch of the imagination, you see me all over. Any thoughts on Arbitrum? Yeah, it's fine for DeFi activities. I know that they launched some meme coins and things like that. Not Arbitrum themselves, but they had some meme coins on Arbitrum. I'm not really into all that. But for DeFi activities, Arbitrum's fine. I've used Arbitrum quite a bit for DeFi. Code 710. I'm actually not familiar with Berry Strawberry AI. However, I am doing a show this weekend where I will talk about other projects in the space. So I will take a note down on that, and I'll look into it this weekend and talk about it Sunday. I like AI projects. I like memes. I like RWAs. So I'm more than happy to look into any of these projects. Just throw them at me. Any thoughts on Squid Grow and their utilities? Not really. But I'm not bullish. I'm not bearish. I'm just kind of neutral. I don't pay a whole lot of attention. I've heard a lot about Silent Swap. All my homies are sponsored by Squid Grow and Silent Swap. So yeah, I mean, it's a privacy platform basically, right? So it's like Tornado Cash. And yeah, I mean, that's allowed now. So before I was much more bearish. I was actually bearish on Silent Swap due to that, and due to how privacy dApps and things like that are basically looked at or viewed by governing bodies, and basically they don't want them, right? So yeah, I'm not bearish on it now. But that about, yeah, we've been live for about 57 minutes now. I think it's a good time to call it. We're just kind of running through stuff, but I appreciate you guys all tuning in tonight. I am back on Fridays on Cryptos R Us. You'll see me here every single week. But if that's not enough for you, you can find me on Saturday and Sunday on Alpha First as well. Link is down in the description below. So you should definitely check that out. Come see some other shows. And also, if you want to see other things I'm doing as well, my Twitter handle is also in the description below. So you'll get notified of any other videos I'm doing, random streams I might do that's covering major events in the space, and you'll just be able to get a whole lot more of me. So come check it out. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Really appreciate you all being here. But before I go, I've got something I've got to show you because I love it. You know, when times like this, you sometimes just have to knock the bears out. So have a great weekend, everybody. Maybe I'll see you Saturday or Sunday. If not, that's fine. I'll see you next Friday. Have a good one, everybody.